I'm Mark Fernandez, and this is Franchising with Fernandez. Today's special guest is Dustin Hanson, the franchisor of InExpress, based on the west coast of the USA. Welcome, Dustin.
Thank you very much. Really pleasure to be here with you.
Oh, pleasure's all ours, Dustin. So let's talk about this craziness going on in the world. And what we're trying to do is find a little bit of some positive stories, some positive energy out there that's happening in the franchising world. So let's start a little bit about where you are and how many franchisees and support people you have working with you, if we can.
Absolutely. So I'm based in Salt Lake City, Utah, here in the U.S., and we've got just over 100 franchises that are located here in the U.S., and we also look after our Canadian network. We've got about 35 franchisees in Canada as well. We've got just over 30 support staff that work here in the office with us.
Wow. Wow. Okay. 30 people. Geez, it must keep you very busy, I'd imagine.
Yes, yeah. Good news is we've got some really good people that are really committed and dedicated to InExpress and what we are trying to do. So that makes it that much more fun to work with them side by side.
There you go. All right. So with all the craziness going on in the last few weeks, can you walk us through, in your eyes and in your shoes, I guess, what you have been through with your team?
Yeah, so I think what we have tried to work hard on the last really 5 weeks is, first of all, just communicating with our franchisees, making sure they've got the latest information and they know how we are best there to support them and keep the business moving forward. We are somewhat lucky, I guess, to be in the shipping and logistics industry where we are needed. A lot of our typical customers that ship with us maybe aren't necessarily shipping with us like they used to, but we've got a whole different segment of customers that need our help, especially importing shipments from China, masks and different things. And so we have actually seen a slight increase in business in March over February, which is great and really strong year-over-year growth. It just has to look differently. So that the team and I have worked hard just to make sure that we're communicating with the franchisees, that we're making sure they're up to date on the information they need to service this kind of new business that they're looking after and that they're trying to service. And we really feel like, because our main focus is small and medium-sized businesses that need us now more than ever before, we're real focused, our franchisees are real focused on this kind of sharing and caring mentality. So we've kind of got this theme of let's share and care with our customers and let's survive and thrive as an InExpress, corporation.
That's so wonderful. And if I can talk to you a little bit about what support you're giving your franchisees, can you walk us through some of the initiatives and some of the things that you're doing to help these guys through this difficult times, I guess? And even though you've got some businesses that may be doing a little bit better, I'm sure across the board, not everyone's in the same boat.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. The franchisees that I think I feel most not bad for, but the ones I reach out to maybe a bit more conservative are those that have just been open for a year and a half. They're just getting established and they're in the tender time. So we've done a couple of things as far as initiatives are concerned. The first thing we've done is to really make sure that we've connected our franchisees with the government available capital and the different loans that are being made available to help businesses survive. So that's the first thing we've done, is making sure they've got all the information, assisting them. In some instances here, we've had to sign addendums to the franchise agreement just to allow some of that funding to happen. So we're being really flexible with that and taking a look on how we can help there. We've also changed the way that our franchisees kind of process their royalty fees to where we can allow them to get cash in their hands faster. We're a central billing and collection platform. So we actually collect from customers direct and then pay our franchisees. And we've been able to initiate some things that allow the franchisees to get those cash in their hands. And then the third thing we've done is we put together a couple of marketing programs that's really designed to help our franchisees reach out to these local businesses in their community, and just again from a sharing and caring perspective, just to allow our franchisee to reach out in a very caring way to say, hey, we're in Express, we're here for you if you need us. We stand ready to help. Just let us know how we can help. So that marketing campaign, I think, has really helped support some additional activity for our franchisees to get that revenue generated and allow them to try to be as strong as possible during these crazy times.
Well, that's wonderful. You've got some wonderful initiatives there, and I wish you and your team all the best, and we hope that you can get through this not too scathed, I guess, by all the economics of the world going on. Dustin, personally, can I ask you, what's your biggest challenge in the last few weeks with you and your family, if I can?
Yeah, we've got a 6-year-old son. I've got 3 kids, and our youngest is 6 years old, and he has a rare disease called Kawasaki disease, which affects your heart and your arteries. And so he's a bit more prone to have some complications if he was exposed to this virus or anything else that's out there. And so we've had to, shelter down and hunker down a bit more so maybe than others would have, and it caused us a little bit more concern. Even if we have to go out to, get groceries at the grocery store, we're even more cognizant when we get back to make sure that everything is sorted so he doesn't get sick. So we've worked hard to try to protect him, which creates a challenge. And then, all the schools are closed. So the school kids are trying to do homeschool, and that's always a challenge as well. But I think our family's pretty resilient. I think we've got a pretty good motto that we stick to as a family. And part of that is that, our motto is, we remember that circumstances don't make a person, they reveal a person. And so this is allowing us to be kind of reveal our true characters. And I'm proud of the way that we've gone about what we've needed to do.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's so amazing. That's great to hear. Dustin, the US, as far as franchising and franchisors go, I'm sure you're leaning on and have been leaned on by other franchisors. Can you just tell us a little bit about, what the networking is like? Is everyone sharing? Is everyone reaching out to other franchisors? Just walk us through a little bit of that, if you could.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity. I have the pleasure to serve as a board of director for the International Franchise Association. So I'm really involved with franchisors across the country, just from the IFA leadership perspective. And that's really given me a unique perspective to not only lean on other franchisors that have been mentors of ours and that we've always looked up to, just to see what they're doing and understand how they're reacting and taking those principles and applying them. But I've also had the pleasure to see how franchisors across the country are connecting just organically. And some of that we've been able to foster from an IFA perspective, but really there's this community of survive and thrive within these franchisors, trying to share anything they possibly can to help someone else, again, try to survive and then try to move forward.
Oh, that's wonderful. And right now, how would you say the consumers are generally? Are they scared? Are they worried about the next few weeks, few months, or are they just a bit cautious? How do you describe it?
Yeah, I think the first couple of weeks, as all of this kind of really started to play out and the stay-at-home orders were issued, I think everyone just, I don't know, casually approached it and thought, well, this will be a short-term thing. I think that we really see a lot more nervousness and fear starting to set in now, because people have been hunkered in for a little bit of time, and we're not sure how much longer they need to be hunkered in. So I think that right now that there's an increasing level of anxiety with most consumers.
Okay, there you go. And hopefully, over time it'll start to dissipate, I'd imagine, and not increase. All right, I guess let's talk about the next 6 or 9 months. Where do you see things going? And, what's your take on all of this, I guess?
Well, we look through as an optimistic lens and as positive as we possibly can. So, from an Express perspective, we expect to see a bit of a wave when some of this starts to kind of get settled down. We hope that, again, we're only a couple of months away from trying to get back more to normal life. But I think we're not really sure exactly how it's going to look. I think through this whole process, we've learned as an organization, and I think as a society, how to communicate in different ways, and our increased level of use of technology has really expanded, which I think will help in the future. I think that entrepreneurs around the country are going to be able to step up and really be the leaders in showing the country how to get back to normal and how to fulfill some of those gaps and needs. I think that once we see life kind of be normalized, that you're going to see people be a little bit cautious. But at the same time, I think there's going to be this need and rush for as much normality as possible, and people want to kind of get back out there and have life as it used to be. So I think that, from our perspective as a company, I think there's a good opportunity for us in the future. And I think there's a great opportunity for entrepreneurship in general, whether that's through franchising channels or people just starting things on their own, to try to serve people's needs to go back to, at least try to go back to the way it was, and to come out of these cocoons that most people are in right now and try to, have a normal experience in life.
Wonderful. And Dustin, last question for you. We're looking for some inspiration for our Australian franchising community. What would you say to the Australian public? What words of wisdom can you offer?
Well, I really think it comes back to this survive and thrive mentality. It's, again, these circumstances reveal who we really are as a society, as people, as leaders. And I think this is a good chance for us to develop that skill set and to recognize all the small things that we have that we can be grateful for. I think that in order to, slow down like we've been forced to do, I think that really creates a cool opportunity for us to reassess, who we are as individuals and what we can be grateful for and what we can take advantage of in the short term and in the long term. And so I think it's just kind of, looking up and putting a smile on our face and trying to understand, hey, listen, there's a lot of things we do have. There's a lot of things that we will have. There's a lot of things that are to our benefit. And we just need to just keep moving forward.
Wonderful, Dustin. Dustin Hanson, the franchisor of InExpress. Dustin, I want to wish you and your family all the best and all the health and prosperity of the next coming months. And please stay safe. And we look forward to hearing from you again, maybe the other side of Christmas, to check in and see how successful you guys have been. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark. Really appreciate it. Okay,
bye for now. If you have any positive franchising stories out there, I'd love to hear them. Drop me an email at mark@bda-online.com.au.
I'm Mark Fernandez, and this is Franchising with Fernandez.